So obviously we talked about when the Great Slaughter was announced and then delayed, and they said, oh, it's coming later in the year. And then that changed to a little later in the year, and then that changed to next week.
Next week, which was great. I was like, thanks very much. More stuff.
Fantastic. It's sold out in 2 seconds flat. Loads of people still haven't got it. People who have got it have noted that apparently the artwork on the front is of quite a low quality and quite a low resolution.
A bit pixelated. Yeah.
Bit pixelated, it's been expanded too far.
But I don't really consider that something worth moaning about. Like, one would argue that for the price of the product, it should be better.
Again, yeah, that's it. I say it's not a deal breaker.
No, it's like I'm
but
slightly
if
more
you're
interested in what's
that much money. I think that's still a bit shit.
Yeah, I'm significantly more interested about what's inside it than I am the front cover.
Yeah. I mean, so I've looked at the PDF. I've read all the fluff in one night. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. And then you've got the rest of it. Obviously, there's a few different rules for different units in there, and you've got your formations, and then you've got your Titan stuff as well. So it's fairly solid. I mean, for the price you pay, you would expect better. And if you're one of these people who's bothered by that kind of thing, then you're going to be bothered. And I can't say you're wrong to be bothered about it, but at the same time, as you say, it's the stuff on the inside that matters. But let's talk about this. So the Great Slaughter went on pre-order at least 3 weeks ago. Everyone's got their copy now, and everyone's had their copy for a week, maybe 2 weeks.
Don't take the piss.
Apart from you. But as far as I'm aware, you still can't use the majority of the book.
Yeah, when it comes to the formations, but I reckon the rest of the stuff, like all the campaign stuff's obviously.
So you can use the campaign stuff. You can use the Titan rules, obviously, which is a big chunk of it. But another big chunk of it was to fill in the gaps in the game, basically being transport options for the
Solar Auxilia,
drop pod assault for the Space Marines, and fast attack for the Space Marines. And at the moment, those last two, you still don't have.
Yeah, such a weird release order. It's like, why?
And given that they're 2 weeks in advance, you're not going to see those before the end of March.
No, I don't get it. I really don't.
So I don't know what they're playing at. Because that makes, from what I understand, that makes at least half the formations in the book unusable.
It's more than that. So what have we got? I mean, there's only 5 formations in the book. There's the Sky Hunter Phalanx that Marines can't use because there's no units for it.
Bikes?
Yep. Or bikes or anything. They've got a drop pod assault that they can't use because there's no drop pods.
No drop pods.
You've got the Solar Auxiliary Artillery Company, which they can't use because there's no artillery units.
Is that not the solar? Is that not the support unit?
So no, they're
with the transfers and stuff.
Nope. Those are Bastion units because they're kind of stationary and they just do their job. Whereas
artillery, you were talking about actual artillery,
actual armor, like Medusas and Basilisks and stuff like that. And they're not out either. So you can't use
3 out of 5.
Yeah, the mechanized infantry sub cohort you can't use because there's no transports for it. Which is the most baffling one of all because they've not released any transports for the Solar Auxilia whatsoever. Like Marines got Rhinos.
I thought you could get on release. Landers.
Oh no, they advertised those. And you used to be able to get them through Forge World, and then they kind of went, oh no, but we're doing them in plastic now, and then also didn't release those.
Oh, for God's sake. Right, okay. 4 out of 5,
and then they went, here's a Dracosan transport. It's based on the Malkador. We ain't releasing them either. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
They've not even released the stuff separately out of the box.
No.
So you can't buy Predators on their own. You can't buy fucking...
Sicarans, or Lehman Russes, or Malkadors.
Or Malkadors.
No. It's like, I get the infantry are very important, and you've released those, and that's great. But why not the other stuff?
And we've seen them. We've seen the Lehman Russ box. We know exactly what's in it. We've seen somebody's got it. Somebody bought one off eBay.
Yeah.
GW, what the fuck are you playing at? Right, so what's the last formation?
That's the Solar Auxilia Super Heavy Company, which is basically 3 lots of heavy armor as compulsory detachments, and then 2 lots of heavy armor as optional. So in theory, you can field this one because you've got like the Bane Blades and Hellhammers. I think their variant is. But this book introduces the Stormhammer, which is pretty good. But they don't release those either. No.
Fantastic work. So 80% of the formations in that game you cannot use
without proxy and stuff. It's just so weird. It's like the models that they released, the majority of the models that came with this release are just catching up with the main rulebook.
Yeah, in the rulebook.
And then the book that they've released with them doesn't have the models, so they're going to have to catch up with that as well. It's like, I don't. What? Why have
And
you
we've
released
the
the
thing is,
box?
the worst thing is we've seen them. They've shown them off. They must be ready to go.
Yeah, we've seen
But
them in like official battle reports. You know, we've seen boxes where people
yeah, I
have
mean, when
fucked
the
up
White
and
Dwarf, when the White
managed to get
Dwarf
them.
came out,
Yeah, there
they
was
had it on in
Outriders,
there.
Outriders,
That was when the
and
fucking game was
Scimitar
released back
bikes
in
in that.
back in November.
Yep,
And drop pods.
yep. Android pods and Xiphons. They haven't re-released all the Xiphons or the Aeronautica stuff yet either. Actually, have they? The Thunderhawk
Yeah,
don't
they
count.
have. Yeah. They've released the Unusable Imperialis stuff.
Are you sure?
I'm sure I saw Xiphons on there at least.
Right. But yeah, it baffles me. I'm like, why have you they've released the support boxes for the Auxilia and Marines, which is great because now people can get their hands on tarantulas and counter people who are spamming
What the
aircraft.
flyers? Yeah.
Yeah, which is exactly what I said would happen. But what else did they release for Solar Auxilia? The Malkador Infernus and Valdor tank destroyers, and it's like, I ain't being funny. Solar Auxilia are doing okay for armor at the moment because Russes aren't crap, Malkadors aren't crap. Their super heavies
and low
definitely
GW
aren't crap.
Low GW have been nuking a load of 3D print things recently, and they have. They've had another little purge on a load of creators and stuff. I noticed.
I can't say I blame them. It's like, if you're going to take the piss and copy
Yeah.
GW stuff, expect to be slapped a few times while you do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they need to protect their IP, but at the same time, they're kind of encouraging this behaviour
By such a weird release schedule.
not releasing the fucking models.
No.